it's Amanda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today we're going to be making a Halloween card using this Stampin' Up set called Happy Scenes. It's got some great little features for Halloween and autumn, so I thought we'd make use of that. It also comes with a die set, so we'll be using that as well. And then I've got this great piece of paper or cardstock that I got out of the Lost and Found Halloween collection from My Mind's Eye. It's double-sided, but I only want this piece here, although I really want to use these corners as well, so we'll see if we can work it out somehow. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, so I've got a piece of orange cardstock from last year's In Colour collection. I think it's called Tangelo Twist, but again, as I've been saying a lot lately on my videos, if you want to know all the details of the cardstock that I've used, the colours, and also to see lots of photos, etc., then hop along to the blog post, the link to which is just down below this video, and it will have all that information there for you, and as I say, lots more photos as well. So anyway, the cardstock for Stampin' Up over here comes in A4, not in the American size, which obviously in America it actually does, they do change the sizing up. So what I've done is I've cut it to exactly 11.5, because A4 is a real pain in the butt to fold in half, so it's simpler just to cut a little smidgen off the end, I find, and then half 11.5 rather than fiddle about. So now we have ourselves an A5 card, all but a smidgy bit on one side. So that's that piece done, and then I want to cut my patterned cardstock to match. So just to be sure, our width is 8 1/8, so we want to cut this to 8 inches exactly. So cut along like so. I do love this here, so we're going to pop that to one side, and then I want my height, which is 5 3/4, so let's do this at 5.5, and there we have a piece, and I'm just gonna see if that fits okay. Yep, that fits nicely on there. Is just take my scissors here and cut down on the outside edge of this web, and then down we've got a little spider here, but we can sort of maybe pop him like that, and if we pop it up it's going to look quite good, I think. So again, we'll put these pieces over here, and okay, so that's that bit done. Okay, so I've got here the Big Shot dies that match with our scene set that we've got there, so I'm going to grab hold of these and I'm going to die cut them out in black. So I've got, goodness, that magnetic plate's very strong all of a sudden. So I've got a piece of black here, so I'm going to pop that down here. Let's just pop this across. I'm going to put it at an angle. It always prefers an angle rather than giving it a head-on edge to do, which I so often do it, but it does actually prefer it if you pop it in at an angle. It will cut just that little bit better, and then we'll just whiz this through and back again. And you can see there was no cracking noises, so it either means it didn't cut or it was because the angle wasn't there, it was happier. So, and it looks to me like it's cut out just perfectly. And just give it a bit of a wallop, and there comes out our window. Doesn't that look great? Okay, and then here is our windowsill piece. Okay, so now we've done our die cutting. Okay, so I've cut a piece of card here in white that will sit behind our window. We do just mark very lightly with a pencil where our window actually comes into position, because you don't want to stamp without realizing and you're outside the edges. There we go. So you see, like that top bit, you might think, oh, you can stamp up there and that'll be great, and then realize when you put it all together that it's completely the wrong place. So we want the scene, and I think that what I wanted was my pumpkin scene here. Now obviously it's going to be slightly off little scene here, so the first thing I've got to do is pick it up with my Fiscus like so. I've got my grey, basic grey, and I think I'm actually going to stamp it in the grey, and I'm going to stamp it off and then stamp it onto the cardstock. So okay, so actually I was saying I was going to stamp it off and then stamp it, but I think actually in hindsight I'm not. Okay, so we're just going to line that up, and then I'm just going to look where my position is that I've marked, so that I make sure that I get my pumpkins in, but also my tree and everything just about where I need it. And if I don't like it so dark, then actually that's just fine. That's come out perfectly. That's just great. So you can see where the marks are, so you're going to lose some of that, but that's not a problem. And then we're going to get the spider's web and we're going to stamp that in as well, but I'm going to use the black to stamp that. So I've got my spider's web down there. I'm just going to pick it up with my Fiscus, just making sure it's kind of straight, because it just makes it easier when you go to stamp it. It's going to go over in this corner here. I've actually got some archival ink. I've got the black, but I keep forgetting that I've got the black Stampin' Up! Ink now, but I think this will be just fine. We've got this gorgeous, it's lovely, really nice archival ink anyway for fine work. What we want to make sure is that we're outside of that edge of the window, so that when we stamp it, it looks like it's coming from the frame, not just kind of sitting there randomly. There we go, so it's definitely outside of that edge, so that looks really good. Okay, pleased with that. Okay, so just going to gently erase those little marks now. Okay, and now what we want to do is, I've got my markers here, my Stampin' Up! Markers. These are very Halloween-y colours, so I thought it would be fun just to give ourselves a little bit of colouring with these. Okay, so I've got myself a paintbrush and some water, and the first thing I want to do is just add in a little bit of colour to the sky. So I'm just going to take the Lost Lagoon here and just take my paintbrush here and very lightly add some colour. I'm just trying to remember, of course, that the colour is mostly in the middle, but it gives it like an icy sky, and I think that's really nice. We just got to also remember this is not watercolour paper, so just need to not overdo our water. Okay, and then I want to do the ground, which is going to be with our mossy meadow, and again just using our paintbrush and pen here, and then we'll go back and we'll put in the orange of the leaves and things that are around. There we go. So that's the ground, and then we just want the orange, which is the Tangelo twist. So that will be the colour of our paper, the cardstock that we did for our base, because that was from that collection. So at least we know the colour of it now. And then we just add orange onto our pumpkins, and we're going to go back in and add some definition in due course. But I'm just adding some orange to the leaves here, just to make sure it looks nice and autumnal even. Okay, so that's that, and then just on our pumpkins here I just want to add a little bit more definition so that it looks a little bit more and the same on our leaves, just a little bit more shading. There we go. I think that's all we need to do for the outside of our outside scene. I think that looks good. I do want to just put a little bit more blue behind our spider's web. It looks just a little bit blank compared to the rest. That's better. And the same here, just because this is where it will be seen, so just want to make sure. There we go. So that's all our background done. So I think that looks pretty cute. So let's that dry, and then we'll start putting this together. Okay, so the first thing we've got here is the window frame, and I've got some 3D foam because I want to just slightly step up that little frame from the back part there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of foam across the back now. I'm just going to one piece here and one piece here, and then I'll just put the other piece down there for the moment. Okay, so we'll put the two together now. Okay, so then we're just going to take that piece and just line it up sort of central and just stick it down. I just need to make sure it's straight like so, and then that just gives us some dimension, which I think looks really cool. Okay, the next thing I want to do is just put my background onto my base card. So I'm just going to get some tape pen. There we go. So that's that stuck down. I think that looks fabulous with that orange. It really pulls that together really well. And I thought we'd just go for Boo because it's just a little bit stronger, and I just thought that would look really fun just to have that there. So I'm just going to take my Fiscus, pop that down on there, get my black ink because we want to make sure it really stands out. So just pop that on there, and then taking that and just popping that almost in the corner so that if I want to put a little gem or anything, I've got that opportunity. There we go. So we've got that boo in the corner there, which I think looks really cool. Okay, so now we want to just line this up. So that's going to sit like so. So that's going to be flat on our background, and our window frame is going to be kind of on top with a bit of foam tape. So I'm going to pop this down first, just using some of this tape. So we stuck that piece down, and just kind of lining that up. Then I'm going to get some foam tape and just pop that a bit up the top here, and then a little bit down the sides as well, like so. And then I'm just going to take my tape runner and just run that along the back of that piece there, and then we're just going to carefully line this up. I think that looks pretty good, so just line that up like so. So that's our window, and that looked cool. So I've got my little piece of web and my little spider as well, so I'm going to pop that on. And for the spider, I thought what we could do just to make it nice and easy was literally just to take my glue pen, tape pen here, and what I'll do is do it on here so it goes on the back of this, our spider's web. We are putting foam on the back of our spider's web. So just take that like so and pop that into the corner. Right, and then also what I'm just going to do is put a bit of tape on the edges there, so that what we end up with is the middle part of our spider's web sticking up with the foam and the two edges pulling down, so we've got like a curve, and I think that looks kind of cool. And then what I want to do is carefully just add this spider from the web here down the inside of the frame like so. So he's on there like that, so there's like spiders everywhere. I rather like that coming out from there. I think what we need to do maybe is actually put it on the top, so that we just still see our little stamp that we did. So I've just put a bit of tape along the top part there, and then I'm just going to pop that along centrally like so on there, and I think that looks really cool just hanging down like that. And then I think we just want to add a little bit of something onto the inside, and then that will sit along that edge there, and just then that gives people space to write there. And actually I'm going to stamp on there from our stamp set the Happy Halloween sentiment. And then I think if it's long enough, which it is, I think that would be nice across the top there. So that gives a nice finish to the inside, except for one more little tiny thing, and that is that in this stamp set it has a wishing you a happy Halloween, and I think that would be very good to have that just on the inside here. So just here. There we go, and that just says wishing you a happy Halloween. So that's the inside of our card. Okay, so the final thing that I want to do is use this gorgeous stickles. It is an orange, I don't see a name for it, but it's just this gorgeous orange, and I'm just going to add a little bit to our inside of our scene here, just to give it a bit more oomph. There we go. So there's the orange, and then just on our spider's web I've got this sort of crystal, sort of goldy crystal though, that I'm just going to add some to that as well, and then down our spider's web here. There we go. Okay, so that is the finished card. I hope you like it. I think it looks really cool. I think it's just a bit different. I mean, you wouldn't normally probably put the window in that way, but I think it just looks a bit different. So what the heck? And I think it looks really cool. Hope you like it too. And there's the inside. And oh, I think I'm getting stickles on my fingers. Yep. And there's the inside with the creepy crawly and the goo at the top. So I hope you've enjoyed making this card with me. I will see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now. Bye.